for Overreaction, because it's Overreaction Monday, and it's just sort of a fun thing to do. It's one of my favorite segments on the Rich Eisen show. And so I have these 4 segments today, and we're gonna go through. These are things I've been hearing about, and there's 3 that I think are overreactions, and I'll say that, and then there's one that I don't think is such an overreaction. So the first overreaction is the Packers are trash. Yes, Aaron Rodgers had the worst game of his career. That's been one of the big headlines from yesterday. The Packers lost to the Saints, only scoring 3 points, and they did not look good. Aaron Jones had a bad game. Devontae Adams had a bad game. The Packers defense had a bad game. And there's just so much that went wrong for the Packers. They looked outcoached. They looked outplayed. Rodgers, dare I say, looked not like an NFL quarterback. So I think, though, this is an overreaction. There's always those outlier games. This was a weird outlier game because you think at some point something would have stuck for the Packers, but this like Rodgers throwing like a 40-yard pass to an interception, it looked so bad. If you rewatch the highlights of that game, just the Packers had nothing going. Matt LaFleur was very brutally honest at the start of that game. But yeah, I don't think the Packers are trash. I still think they're the favorite to win the NFC North, who all lost yesterday because the Vikings lost, the Bears lost, and the Lions lost. I'll talk more about Lions in a couple of takes. But so I'm really curious to see how this division plays out. But I think the Packers will look to respond next week. I believe they're at home. So we'll stay tuned to see if the Packers really are trash. But I think that's an overreaction. Okay, this one I saw Texans fans going nuts about. And Coach Dante, if you're watching, I'm a big fan of yours. I have said for most of this offseason, the Texans will be better than a lot of people think. They have a lot of veterans on 1-year deals. I believe they're the oldest team in the NFL this year. And they have players that are hungry, want to prove themselves. And so, it's not like this is some team learning how to win. They do have talent on this team. They are not as depleted as people think. However, I'm still not convinced they're a playoff team. And now I'm seeing, because they're 1-0 and the rest of their division lost, people are like, Texans can win the AFC South. Okay, hold up. Let's it's one game, and they beat the Jaguars. And now the Jaguars did have a lot of hype with Trevor Lawrence coming into the year, but still they're a young team that is going through, coaching regime change. I think this is totally an overreaction. I don't think the Texans are a playoff team. The Lions can win the NFC North after almost beating the Niners. Okay, let's tell it like it is. The San Francisco 49ers outclassed the Detroit Lions like almost that entire game yesterday. I'll give credit where credit's due. The Niners on paper and in performance were destroying the Lions. There was a couple of things that happened, and the Lions did make some good plays towards the end of that game. But mainly the onside kick recovery, which you can't depend on an onside kick every game, plus the fumble that got the Lions back in it. Now, this is football. There's all these upsets that happen, things like that don't go your team way or they go your team's way. And the Lions had a couple of things go their way, and they were able to capitalize to make this a competitive game that had a really fun ending to it. And I'm not convinced they can win the NFC North just because everyone in that division lost. I still think the Packers are better than them. I still think the Vikings are better than them. And I think the Bears are better than them. So I've seen some Lions fans out there saying that they look the best in week 1 because the Bears lost by 20. The Vikings lost in overtime to the Bengals. And then the Packers obviously looked horrible. to the Saints. I'm still not convinced that this is a recipe in week 1 that the Lions are going to win. My final hot take on Overreaction Monday is the Falcons have a shot at the first overall pick. And I don't think this is an overreaction. I think that there is a legitimate chance. The Falcons looked really bad yesterday, and they are a team that has new coaching staff, new players in place. They need to prove themselves. And Matt Ryan did not look good. They couldn't get much going. I think they're missing Julio Jones more than they thought they were. And they only scored 6 points. So I think the Falcons are definitely in play for this first overall pick. We'll continue to monitor that and see how it goes. Anyway, that's my overreaction. Please let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy. What do you think? What's your overreaction on this Monday? And we're continuing with the tradition of NFL fans overreacting on a Monday.